honestly, speaking of like just parents in general, for all the youngers out there with family situations where they want to make a gaming career in life, like they want gaming to be their career, how did you like initially feel when you mentioned you wanted to play video games for a living, and like to get them fully on board with it? Like, just for the younger, like.
For me, it was always my mom that hated it. Like my dad, every single day, my dad would get home from work, worked 8 hours, manual labor, he'd come in and he'd knock on my door and he'd come inside and ask me how my day was and what was going on. Like you could tell that he was dead tired and he still fucking walked in every day. And honestly, back then, being who I was then, I was just like dreading it. Like, here we fucking go. Here's gonna be like another 3-minute, 5-minute conversation, me telling him the same thing. But now looking back on it, I'm 27 years old. Like I could just tell that it's because he was interested and he wanted to talk to his son and just be a part of my life. So my dad was always supportive of it. I don't know. It's hard to tell because my mom was sick for a long time and she hated the gaming things and she had a bunch of stuff going on mentally that it's hard for me to remember back then how she felt about it. I just know she didn't like it. Like when I told her I was going to drop out of college and move out, she was fucking pissed. I don't think she talked to me for like a month. I couldn't even tell you. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. My situation was very different. I think the biggest thing is, and I hear people talk about it online all the time, you can't just quit your fucking job and say, oh, man, I hope streaming works out.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people have the wrong mindset.
Yeah. You know who's like a great example, I think, is Merck. Joey DeLuca is a great example because he, and Courage as well, they were trying to do professional gaming full-time, trying to be a streamer full-time, trying to be a content creator, whatever the case may be. They finished their degrees at school. Mm-hmm. They busted their ass for 4 years, not getting tons of sleep, working jobs, whatever, until it was finally a place where they can make it work and be financially stable. Yeah. That's what I would explain. I think gaming is a lot more accessible now. It's a lot easier for parents to understand, and so helping them understand through like media articles or YouTube or anything that you can use to help them be more knowledgeable about what their son or daughter actually wants to do is number one. But you got to get good grades. You got to go to school. You got to fucking have a job so you can support yourself. You basically got to give your parents no reason to not let you do what you want to do.
Do you think the gaming community has done like, well, not even necessarily the gaming community, but do you think like gaming in general has been like legitimized more in the last 5? Because there's like, I'd say like 10 years ago, if you told them like, oh, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a gamer, like it's like what? Like what the fuck? But,
You're
like,
what?
Yeah, but like now it's becoming a more and more legitimate thing as the year goes on, and like.
Yeah, absolutely. You know the answer to that question. It's like, of course it is. I mean, you see these Fortnite World Cups, like 16-year-old kids winning $3 million. I mean, there's so much information out there now that I feel like it's hard for people to see it for the first time and think, wow, this isn't legitimate. Like, you just show them one video of how many people are watching at the World Cup.
The stat of Booga or whatever with the Tiger Woods and, like, you remember that when he won?
Compared to, like,
it compared the winnings to, like, Tiger Woods' winnings. Like, I don't know.
It's much, much easier now.
I just want to talk about the subject. Yeah, I was like, I want to talk about the subject only because, like, this one hits home. Like, just because, you know, my parents still think I'm a COD pro.
Yeah, they
no,
think
like,
he's,
so 100% honest. Like, they still think I'm a Call of Duty pro. In the off season, because they know about my YouTube. Like, they know about the YouTube. I don't really mention, like, anything there. But they think COD is in the off season right now. And we're just making videos.
I don't know how you've done it.
Back to Russia.
Bro, you've done this for so long, too. I can't believe they haven't caught on like
bro, when do you
one day?
One of these days, bro.
Hey, I just found a new prank idea. Let's go.
When do you think they'll ever find out, or when do you think?
On God, when I like tell them, because they don't know about the mob channel, so like they would never like even see this video, for example. They don't know what Twitch is, so they don't really watch live streams. So they just know about my YouTube, like so just my YouTube.
I keep this on the low then.
Hey yo.
Hey yo.
Anyone tells my parents anything?
Ron, I'm looking at you.
1,000 people.
Well, like, I definitely feel that.
Wait, hey, one of us fucked up. No, never mind.
No, say it, come on.
Nah, bro. When you say, hey, yo, I thought the TikToks would go, hey, yo, I'm not thick until I turn around.
Show your ass. Hey, you want to talk about TikTok?
No.
I don't want to talk.
TikTok's fucking hilarious.
Nah, but just back on that, like, you're definitely right. Like, until, like, I was streaming while I was in college, like, the first 2 years, and until I literally came home, like, my dad and both my parents were like, this is a waste of time, what are you doing? They're like, just stop. They took my PC, like, cords away from me just because.
They're smart.
No, yeah, like, just because they didn't want me doing it. Until I brought them that, like, first Twitch check where I made a little bit over, like, $600. They're like, oh, you know, maybe he can do this.
Yeah.
I was like,
hey, well, that should be your biggest motivation. Like, hey, guess what? I made $100,000 this year.
Yeah.
Go show them that. Go do that. That should be like your North Star.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make $100,000 this year. Then it's gonna be 500. Then it's gonna be $1 million. You gotta give goals to yourself.